What is up, fellas? Hopefully all is well. Long time no post, long time no see. Been moving, new job and whatnot, but got a video today. Texas A&M Aggies into the season, ended up winning the Big 12 championship. Looking at the Heisman race right here. Heisman winner John David Booty in front of Colt Brennan, who as of today, rest in peace to him. I guess an overdose to Mr. Colt Brennan, wide receiver number 22 for Bama. Had a hell of a year himself. And then dead last after, I believe, the Virginia Tech running back is Stephen McGee. Texas A&M ends up not being a finalist in the Maxwell Award. Gets third place for the Davey O'Brien behind Colt Brennan and John David Booty. Please explain to me why. I mean, what is it? Just to be fucking nice to someone? To be two dudes in the same position in the Heisman race. The guy who ends up winning the Heisman ends up losing the positional award to the guy who ended up losing the Heisman to him. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me. It is what it is. Stephen McGee should finish behind those two. Speaking of nice finishes, four of our guys in the top 7. 3 of our guys for the Thorpe in the top 4. 2 in the top 3 for the finalist. Cornerback number 4 ends up winning it. Our kicker ends up getting second. Easily the best returner in the country. Easily the best punt returner in the country. Mike Goodson, nice year himself. Hawaii's head coach ends up getting, I think it's Mr. Pete Jones at the time, ends up going to SMU. But Fran Chiboni, team is just undefeated headed into this one. Got a Thorpe winner. They got the best returner in the country in Mike Goodson. Only a sophomore. But looking at the All-American team, first team, Colt Brennan, Darren McFadden, Mr. Williams with Virginia Tech, of course the Bama wide receiver. And then right there, Mr. Aaron Hernandez of Florida gets the number 1 slot for tight end, All-American. You can see a Wisconsin, Nebraska guy, a guard from Florida, Maryland, Ohio State for the offensive line, Virginia Tech, DN, Syracuse, another Virginia Tech D lineman. But right there, finally one of the guys ends up being an All-American plus our Thorpe winner, cornerback number 4. And then you got Nebraska, Florida, North Texas's strong safety, and of course Mike Goodson's going to finish it out for best returner in the country, All-American returner, John David Booty. Again, I don't get it. It's going to be Heisman winner, and he's going to be second team All-American. Please explain that to me. But a couple guys from Wisconsin on this All-American team, All-American teams, going up against Texas A&M's All-Americans. And now with the second team, it's Michael Bennett and Mr. Bryant, the D tackle number 85. Mr. Peterson, cornerback number 27. And cornerback number 43. Strong safety number 9. And then kicker. The kicker on this team getting things done. Nice little finish right there. Now looking at all Big 12 finishing. Martellus Bennett just finishing outside of the finalists for the Mackey. A dude that was averaging, more than 30 yards a catch, it seems like, at least. 400 yards on 18 catches. Quite a bit of the offensive lineman on there as well. Left in number 92. So again, this team just pretty much having a badass season. Undefeated. End up, of course, not in the national championship. That's Virginia Tech and Florida. They're undefeated. But an undefeated Texas A&M team in a power conference is not going to be in the national championship game. We find ourselves actually in the Fiesta Bowl, which is funny, considering, we're not Boise State to where Boise State's in the WAC at the time playing against shit teams. But still, though, pretty sure this is the... this is the year after it. But funny enough, it's definitely with. I think it's also, this is technically the year after you had Boise State go undefeated. Boise State ends up playing Oklahoma out of the Big 12. I think the equivalent would have been us playing maybe Ohio State with the Big 10. If you're thinking about programs and the prestige that Boise State ended up winning in there, beat Adrian Peterson in Oklahoma in that bowl game. Very, very excited. It's one of my favorite bowl games of all time. Definitely one of the best finishes of all time. And I'm not even talking about just the final play to win the game, the Statue of Liberty. You got the hook and ladder. But we're talking about Mr. Ian Johnson, the running back for Boise State, ends up proposing to his girlfriend after he scores, I'm not going to say game-winning touchdown, but it was like game-winning 2-point conversion. It was sick. It was awesome. And speaking of sick and awesome, undefeated season for the Aggies, going up here against Wisconsin, 33 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions. The man had himself a well of a year, averaging a little bit over, 250 yards passing per game, 33 touchdowns in the air. Kind of got a little sloppy at the end, but this Texas A&M team headed into the Fiesta Bowl looking to go undefeated. This defense has played really strong, but special teams have been really strong, but it wasn't strong enough to start off this game right here. And thank God the ref is the 12th man for this team on this day. Nice play-action play right there after the wonderful return by the Wisconsin returner. And now here we go, quarterback number 12, Mr. Pat. I think it was a Pat or Patrick on this team, but should have been intercepted right there. There's a flag on the play, so 2 straight tip passes that end up in the hands of Wisconsin. It's going to actually lead to the first points of the game, I believe. No, it's not. It's going to be holding on 3rd and goal. And this Wisconsin team just, well of a start. But however, though, it's going to all lead to naught as Texas A&M's team right here on the special teams, defensive team. It's been easily the best special teams team in the country. And they get another blocked field goal right there by one of the Thorpe Award finalists. Or not one of the finalists, one of the top 7 defensive backs in the country. And then Mike Goodson just getting lit up. On this one right here, Javorsky Lane was out for the Big 12 championship, and this team came to play, at least Wisconsin did, on the defensive side of the ball. Not much having on the offensive side. 2 huge hits to start this one off. 3rd down conversions, number 1 in the country, 57%. And I believe they're going to convert again right here. Wide receiver number 2. I'm totally kidding. I was totally wrong. It's going to be first down for Wisconsin after the punt. And that should have been picked off. The man just won the Thorpe Award, one of the leaders in interceptions in the year. Another interception opportunity. So not the strongest of starts by either one of these offenses. But Javorsky Lane going to get down the field. Wonderful. Wonderful highlight stick broken tackle. Something we didn't see all season. Where was that this whole time? But whatever. It is what it is. And a nice throw to Martellus Bennett. Easily one of the best up in the air receivers in the country, targets in the country, I guess, since he is not technically a wide receiver. The man's 6'7", getting things done. Nice first down right there. Now about just over 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Nice run by Javorsky Lane. 2nd and 5 now. Stephen McGee gonna hit his number 1 target. Wide receiver number 8, and then wide receiver number 9 getting lucky. Well, the fumble recovery right there. The drive continues, and it's going to pay a pass out to wide receiver number 2. That's right there. 3 consecutive completions on 3rd down and 1. It's going to be a fullback dive, and what a huge hole. You'd think on 3rd and 1 they would send a little bit more of a loaded box, but it just wasn't loaded enough. It's going to be fullback number 24 with a nice rushing touchdown. I don't think it was his first. Don't think it was just his first this season. I think he had 2 or 3 others, especially that game against Texas. With the nice rivalry win, but right here, Patrick, first down. I thought it was a shitty spot, but it is what it is. This game looks pretty well contested, so I'm not going to try to use a challenge this early. We're starting early. Excuse me. 5 attempts, 22 yards as this Wisconsin team is starting to get a grip right here. Almost got that intercepted as well, but 2nd and 5 on this play. Incomplete flag on the play. It's going to be another holding penalty for this Wisconsin offensive line. A couple of All-Americans on this offensive line, but just not the best of discipline to start off this game here in the first quarter. 2 holding penalties already. And speaking of great discipline, Middle linebacker, number 37, ignored the left outside linebacker. He's been the number one guy on this defense. He's the captain, and he's getting things done right here. Led an undefeated Texas A&M defense, top 5, at least in the rush this season. I think it's a top 10 defense overall. And then right here, lucky play by Stephen McGee. A lot of luck has gone into this season, but not good enough, as they did not make the national championship game. Stephen McGee just gets rocked on this play by right end number 92. Going to be another highlight for this defense, as again, just scoreless for the offense of Wisconsin, but their defense has been very impressive. And while I say that, a wonderful jinx in favor of Texas A&M. Great call. No one right there. Must have been a cornerback blitz, as no safety. Must have been just a cover one up top, because no one was guarding him on man. Didn't seem like there was anybody there on the cover. And it is going to lead to easy points for Texas A&M. Make it now a 2-possession game, 14-0. 5:30 left here in the first half. And then a terrible pass. But it ends up leading to great points right here, as we see 2 bad passes, 2 lucky plays by both teams. So it's not like too much luck is swaying in the other direction. Pass interference now on Texas A&M, but it's going to be declined as it's got bigger yards. However, though, wonderful, nice return by strong safety number 9, one of the Thorpe, semifinalists, number 7th in the country. And he almost gets a flag on this one. We're going to cut that short, that celebration, make that now 2 interceptions by this defense. Number 37 and now number 9, I believe a senior on this Texas A&M team. Nice return right there. Is a nice juke move. And then play action. It's been one of the more efficient things that Stephen McGee's been doing. However, though, the jinx comes for us all at some point. And it's going to lead to a pick 6 by Wisconsin. Terrible timing. It's just especially on a big play like this. It's not like the interception you saw against Texas, to where it was pretty much a check down that led to the pick 6. But now Texas A&M with the ball again. It's going to be a nice first down play by Mike Goodson. Just the speed, the acceleration on the outside. Not too much of an impact here in the game, but Jaworski Lane, just pretty much just a 1-yard run on this one. Mike Goodson getting down the field. Nice little option call. It's going to get about 4 yards, but good enough. But however, not good enough. Jaworski Lane. Didn't seem like the dude bit on it, but he kind of got hesitated. I don't know. It was just weird. It's a weird play overall. But able to get the sack, and it's going to be another highlight for this defensive line. I think it may have been a linebacker blitz. Yes, it was. Just 2 tackles on the day, but one of them is that sack. 14-7. We're starting to get more and more momentum by this Wisconsin team overall. And Mike Goodson getting down the field. Huge highlight plays. We didn't see much from him here at the beginning of this game, but now at this point, wonderful play. Nice little pass into the check down, into the flats. And it's going to be a penalty for roughing the passer, but it's going to be a 42-yard touchdown completion by Stephen McGee. Make that now 2 touchdown passes on the young day. And a beautiful move by quarterback number 12, as Wisconsin's going to move down the field. 4 tackles on the day by cornerback number 43. Should have been held up. We've seen this in the Miami-Florida game. This Texas A&M team has been really solid against running backs. But, man, just some of these little just like under duress scrambles by the quarterback has just destroyed these guys. But speaking of being under duress, it's a sack right there, right outside linebacker number 28. 2 guys right there for the pursuit. There's not much you can do at that point. I know he had the nice little scramble last time. But linebackers get a huge 5 boost on that one. And what needed to be was a boost for the confidence of the wide receivers. But it is what it is. Wisconsin's going to get that ball kicked away. But it's just going to be pretty much a pass for kick, as Steve McGee ends up throwing an interception himself. Free safety number 25. 23-yard return on that one. Make that now his, 3rd interception on the season. First of this game. And now Wisconsin's looking to get a touchdown on this drive. Incomplete pass right here on 4th down. And what can happen on the kick? It's going to be 3 other points. As Texas A&M towards the end of the half. It's going to be a huge fumble play. Not quite a touchdown for this Wisconsin defense. but it's going to be a just poorly timed, poorly managed into the half right here by Texas A&M. Already 3 points given from a turnover by Steve McGee's pass. It's going to end up being now an opportunity to score a touchdown on that fumble. Probably should not have run an option towards the end of the half right there. But speaking of points, it's going to be another nice scramble by this quarterback. Make it now a football game, 16-21. It should be 17-21 after the kick. Texas A&M going to get the ball first here in the second half, and a beautiful toss. It's going to be a flag on the play, though. 3rd and 13. What ends up happening right here? Plenty of momentum on Wisconsin's side. However, some should shift as it's roughing the passer. It's going to be 15 added on to what was already a nice little gain right there. And speaking of a nice little gain, nice run by Steve McGee. Now running back to the fullback. Huge play to the man. Going to end up getting some room on the outside. Nice little wide receiver direct. It's going to be a first down as this A&M offense is looking even more and more confident down the field. 3rd and goal later on the drive. It's going to be used up to Mr. Jaworski lane. It's just not going to be good enough right here. But right here, 4th and goal. We're trying to do some fucking history right here, fellas. That is not Stephen McGee. That is kicker number 7. Call the audible. Not good enough. The defensive field goal block right there. They might have switched to something else on the play. But it's going to be 7 points now instead of the 3 you saw that one. Texas A&M touchdown run right there by kicker number 7. Then on 3rd down, going to be stopped by second team all Big 12 D tackle number 85. And then nice play right there by wide receiver number 8. Moving down the field again. A&M has been known as a second half team. And speaking of being known as worthy performance, it's Mike Goodson. We saw him earlier on the check down. Nice 20-yard run now in this one, since it was an option run, not the pass. But still, the man is in the flats. That's where he does most of his damage. And that speed gets him down the field for a nice, 25-yard run. It's going to be another first down for Texas A&M. Just under 2 minutes left here in the half. And a pass out to wide receiver number 9. And doesn't even get lit up on this play. 3 interceptions so far by Steve McGee. It could have been his 4th, but he placed it beautifully on this one. But it's just going to be a drop pass by wide receiver number 9, a man who's going to have to work on that if he's going to keep this A&M team in the top 25 next season, since they're losing a lot of players. And what a juke move by Mike Goodson, getting down the field right here. And speaking of getting down the field, it's Mr. McNeil, number 5. Beautiful play right there. Make that now one. He already broke the record. I don't know why it's showing up, but 10 touchdown receptions on the season. 8 was the previous record for Texas A&M's players. And right here, just another highlight. 6 tackles on the day. His first sack, though, right in number 92. Not only number 92, but Mr. number 92. And number 2, right here, right outside linebacker, goes number 2 on Mr. Mike Goodson, as he's multitasking to the max. Puts that ball down on the ground, and he also finds himself hitting the living shit out of Mr. Mike Goodson. It's going to end up being Wisconsin ball, but holding on this play for Texas A&M after getting the ball back from Wisconsin. And then a nice move by Stephen McGee on the outside. And this pass play right here by wide receiver number 9. Just enough speed to get down the field. Should be an additional 15 yards after the catch. And it looks pretty much in the bag at this moment. Texas A&M, another pass to wide receiver number 9. And here on 4th down, what can they get? It's another first down conversion. 35-17 after what was, 10 points unanswered by Wisconsin. Or 10 points, 10 points unanswered. 10-0 run by Wisconsin, making it 21-17 into the half, second half right here. What was 17-0. What a finish by this defense, Texas A&M. Just wreaking more havoc. And this team right here, just a question's going to come up. What ends up happening? I mean, when we look back at this, was this Texas A&M team good enough? Do you think we were just good enough to be efficient enough to be undefeated for a season? Or we manhandle Oklahoma. We end up finishing well against Texas. What do you think the deal is for this Texas A&M team? Could we have competed with the Florida or Virginia Tech. Technically more so a Virginia Tech as they beat Tim Tebow in Florida. Brandon Spikes right there, 8 tackles and interception. Okay, now that's not player of the game right there. As you can see, 2,100 rushing yards on the season, not 2,100 yards on the game. But reverting back now on the finish, Oklahoma 7-1 in conference, 11-2 overall. Texas A&M undefeated, the cream of the crop for this team. They're going to end up as number 2 in the country right here after Florida loses in the national title game. Oklahoma loses to Louisville. What a season with the offseason coming next, fellas.